Good morning, guys. It's Sunday the 11th of December and I'm just going to have a quick walk around and show you some of the damage the cold weather's inflicted on some of the plants. We've had quite heavy sleety rain, sort of hail last night, and the night before we had -2, and the night before that we had -4, and then the night before that we had some cold weather here as well. So I'll just go around and just show you some of the problems. I mean, underneath here, the milk fruit is looking a little bit, got cold damage, but it's not looking bad. And the passion fruit, purple passion fruit down there, seems to be unfazed, being underneath this cover. The Smithii, Syzygium Smithii, let's have a look. Yeah, you can see small amounts of damage there. And the Peppino at the back is copped it, but I think it's still going to come back. It's just the top growth that seems to be affected. Let's see if we can go a little bit further in here. Not easy. I think you can just make it out there. Eugenia uniflora is, so far, we've got another week of this weather to come, but so far seems to be okay. I think there might be a bit of a lag on some of these things. You can see a blackbird has been digging through. That's a theme through my garden at the moment. Blackbirds digging through things, so it's annoying, but nothing I can really do about it. This is the other Syzygium. I can't pronounce the Latin name of it, but this one seems to be having less cold damage on it. And even there's some of it that's exposed out here. And I mean, as I say, that might end up turning brown and dying, but generally speaking, even though it's exposed, look, there's even snow on it there, or ice. But at the moment it seems to be unaffected, that one. Salus seems to have some superficial damage. These leaves are dead, but the actual stems are still green and hard, not gone mushy. I should probably cut this back, but I'm going to wait, because it's providing protection to the lemon guava behind that, and that you can see has had dieback on some of the tips, or all of the tips, all the new growth. And I would say, let's have a look. You can see in here where it's brown, I'd say that's pretty safe, but all this stuff that's green is susceptible to probably die back. Then we have a look at this. That's a sad story, isn't it? All those leaves are done for, or the majority are. I think there might be one or two that's in the core that might be all right, but yeah, I think that isn't going to be good. It saves me pruning it. I'll just wait to see what dies back. You can see that all of that tissue there has been affected, unsurprisingly, by the cold. But you don't have to go too far back to see that is actually still alive. Ah, that's nice. It must be, see how quickly that evaporates, that wet. So there's a bit of heat coming off that, so that's nice. As long as the sun's shining, it'll help. I just don't think that this is going to ripen up. It had like a week left on it, really, on my predictions on how far and how close it would take to ripen up. But I've not really got anything to go by. I'm just guessing, really. But it's a shame. I was expecting to get ripe fruit, or at least taste the ripe fruit off this passion fruit by sort of mid to end of December, but I don't know if that's going to happen, whether it's going to ripen up now. All those leaves, look at them. If we take a step back, it just looks a bit sad, really. Now down in this bed, this was just an experimental bed. Got plenty of these guavas, but at the moment it's survived a -4, a couple of -4s, -2, and a snow hailstorm. So there's a bit of dieback on the top, but that's to be expected. Remember, all the things in this bed are replaceable. I've got replacements for them. The cherimoya seems to have surviving, but hanging in there, I'd say. This is one that's slightly hardier than all the rest, and it's showing, I mean, you can see the ice on it there. This is the Natal plum. It's obviously not putting out growth, but it's not dying, and it's not showing any signs of cold damage. The bird of paradise, actually, the newest leaf seems to be okay. The two older leaves look like, again, I've got replacements for that one, so it's fine. It's just, and they have such a waxy, thick leaf, unlike the banana. Is not really showing too much damage, really, which is a different story to the citrus that was outside. I was worried that all this new growth on the citrus would die from wind damage. Well, that worry was unfounded, because it's actually got dieback from the cold. I've really got to figure out when to prune this back, whether I should just leave it. I think I'll leave it until this next week is over. We can see what actual damage is done. Similar story here, worse than the lemon guava. This strawberry guava has really copped it. All the new growth, all this autumn growth. Didn't have time to harden off and all that, but the actual plant itself is fine. This Australian or New Zealand myrtle seems to be very, very hardy. I don't know what its presumed hardiness is, but it's definitely not showing any signs of dieback, even on these new tips. In here, the lemon seems to be doing, well, wasn't doing brilliant before, but seems to be doing okay, and everything else in there is doing okay. That's how cold it's been. We should probably take all of that off. But yeah, it's definitely not the tropics, I can tell you that. In here, we can see there's been a couple of top leaves on this avocado, probably that were touching the roof here at some point. But you can see the lemon and strawberry guavas that are undercover, not showing any signs of damage, or minimal damage, actually. Sorry, I've just noticed that must have happened last night. So yeah, it's again, they're a lot more protected than the ones up against the wall outside, but they're still copping a bit of damage. So I can say that the unhardened tips of the lemon and strawberry guava are hardy down to about -2, -3. The woody parts there, they're probably down to probably a few degrees lower, but we are really pushing it to the extremes on them. Obviously the pineapple guavas in the back there are fine, and the date palms are fine. Again, something's been digging through that part, and annoying as it is, nothing I can do about it. The outside, these baby or young pineapple guavas with ice on them. Seems to do it all right. In here, the greenhouse. I can't see any problems happening in here other than this at the back. The pepino. Look at that. The fruit. It's really gone. Horrible. But the bigger fruit, unaffected, obviously big enough, or yeah, big enough to be not affected somehow. Now, all these leaves are died back, but the actual stems look to be green enough, and I imagine it's going to sprout back from these very woody, from its very woody base. I imagine it's going to sprout back, and probably sprout back from all of this. Just wait for it to warm up, and we'll see what the lasting damage is. The cherimoya obviously got brought in into here. I don't think it's made much of a difference, but it's just they're out of the cold wind in here. But I think temperature wise there's not much difference than where they were, but less chance of wind damage. Not that we've got a lot of wind at the moment. These are my replacement banana passion fruit, and they were up there, and this is what happens when they were leaning up against the roof. They got cold damage, but there's plenty of live material there. Yeah, and the roof is just icy as anything. Certainly not warm, guys. It's becoming above freezing because you can see it's dripping. Just wanted to quickly show you. Oh, there's all the physalis, but it's done its job, because things like this palm down here has been protected by them. They were really a sacrificial crop to protect things like not this pepper, Szechuan pepper, but the pistachio, whatever type of pistachio that is, the palm. There is a fig in the ground now. I want to actually uproot that. I'm not wanting any figs in the ground really. And the other thing was, got very, very young pineapple guava mammoth down there. But now the leaves are burnt. I don't know how much protection they're actually being. Again, the leaves are burnt, and you're going to start to see tissue damage like that, but further down I think it's going to be all right. So when this cold weather finishes, I'm probably going to cut back a lot of them and just see if we can perennialize them. Things like this Luma piculata, even they have been affected, you know. See that new growth there? Been slightly affected, so I'm really hoping that this weather changes sometime soon. You might have noticed that the banana wasn't there. I did wrap it up, but then I just thought things are too extreme. So I put the banana in there, and you can see the leaves are, oh, it's actually quite warm in here compared to outside. The leaves have copped it a bit, and all those leaves, apart from this new one, are gonna end up going crispy and black. but the main stem is sound. All the leaves on the alocasia, colocasia, not sure which one it is, I took them off because they were showing signs of dieback, but the stems are still solid. And the only thing I can see in here, that I've noticed in here that's copped it a bit, is see these sapodea, just that one there. Just a leaf there, but all the rest seem to be okay. And that's obviously showing, that guava there is showing quite a lot of cold stress, which is not surprising. I've got, oh, I don't think I've shown you this. Let's go back in there. I've got some of these 8-inch fans, one there, and there is one at the back. Let's go in and I'll show you. And there's one at the back there, just to help circulate, keep the air moving, and it really helps with grey mold. That pineapple is obviously doing nothing, it's just sitting there dormant at the moment. The passion fruit looks to be doing all right. It's actually growing, putting out new growth in here during this cold period. Inga adulis putting out new growth, or continues to put out new growth in here. And actually we can see some cold stress on. That's the first bit of cold stress I've ever seen on Inga. There as well. First bit of cold stress I've seen on any of these Ingas. So this is what I do to heat this place up at the moment. I've got some oil heaters coming, but put a slab down on top of the water tank, put candles. This is my candle holder. I put candles in here, 4 at a time. Each candle is 80 watts. So it's like 340 watts I get, and then it gives you about 7 hours worth of heating, and then I have to come back out at midnight and then relight another 4. So not getting much sleep at the moment, or not much consistent sleep, because I have to come back out here at midnight until I get the oil heater and then paraffin heater. That seems to be changing colour. I can't wait to taste that. That's the Citrus Persia. And the other thing is an update, little update on these dwarf bananas. They seem to be doing all right. They don't seem to be dying. Although with what I found with those is you'll just find out one day that they're dead. They won't give you much warning, like a lot of trees, like a lot of plants. They will give you a bit of warning. Bananas will just all of a sudden going to die back and just die, from my experience. So you can see more. See, all these leaves here are meant to be up there. It's what blackbirds do. But this is the Inga adulis that's outside, and we can see yeah, it's susceptible to having dieback, but it seems to be doing all right. There is quite a bit of cold stress on it now because of the, yesterday it looked nice and green. It's gone like a pale green now. So having standing ice on it has caused major tissue damage. These are all going to turn brown, I imagine, and drop off, but the actual stem itself looks to be green, and seems to be doing all right. Not as good as the ones inside the polytunnel, obviously, but that's to be expected. I put a 25 litre water drum there, just to give it some protection, mainly from the north wind that will be coming in from this direction. In the very low humidity nights where we've had frost and stuff, it's actually been all right underneath there because of the protection from the blue gum. It's actually, but when we've had the driving ice that's going in there, it's actually caused the leaves to show a bit of damage, although it looks green at the moment. Those leaves are going to turn brown. There might be one or two leaflets that stay green, but the majority of them are going to turn brown. Don't be fooled by the sunshine. The sun does not give us much heat at this time of the year. That's some of the damage that's been recorded so far. I think we've got another week of this, at least till Friday. We're on Sunday now, so we'll have to see what comes. I think that this is going to go deciduous. This passion flora caerulea, one fruit left on it there. Not that impressed with the fruit, but I think this is going to end up going deciduous. If you look at the leaves, turning yellow. It would not surprise me. I mean, look, these flowers are rotting on the plant, but it would not surprise me if all these leaves fall off. But I don't think it's going to kill it. Whereas this one, I think the leaves are going to be all right, even though there's ice on the leaves now. I think this is going to be all right because of the latent heat of this water tank. That's what a rotting flower looks like. And there's another one with ice in it. Anyway guys, I hope you all have a blessed day.